Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel, Silver Violet Flame. Today we're going to be talking about the free energy clearing I'm giving on Thursday. It is on bringing in abundance. So what bringing in abundance does is looks at mainly what I will be focusing on is our ability to say no. Because if you are the kind of person, I think most of us are guilty of this, who are repelled by having to say no to a person, what you're actually doing is you are blocking self-love from yourself. And it is also a really poor boundary to have because everything is connected in your life. So if your boundaries are poor, you're stopping yourself from receiving. And if you're not saying no to people who you really should be saying no to, you're blocking yourself from receiving also many things. So we're going to be looking at your inability to say no, all tied in with receiving and all tied in with your abundance and your wealth. So both really, these two things are the path to ascension when you have them in alignment, when you have them balanced. Boundaries and self-love, you've heard me saying it before, the two most important things to have in place. You need to have high boundaries. The like of me, when I'm working with so many people, you get all different personalities, and you will get people trying to push you, for favors and to treat them a wee bit differently, maybe from everyone else. And you just know you're getting pushed and pushed and pushed. And for my own, this is giving you an example of my own life, so you'll understand. For my own process and for me looking after my own energy, why would I not? The most important thing for me is me, because if I'm not top of my game, anybody else who I'm in connection with, they're getting me not at my best. They're getting me someone who, I know we're all flawed in certain ways, but when you have the knowledge that you can work through these things, you would be serving an injustice to yourself if you weren't actually walking the talk yourself. So that's just an example from my own life. So say, for instance, you felt like you had no right to say no. You felt like, well, this is my boss telling me what to do. I have no right to say no. And then that makes you feel uncomfortable. Or maybe you feel if you're saying no, it's disrespectful. Or maybe you feel if you're saying no, that means that you're telling the other person that you don't love them. All of these aren't true. And if you say no to your boss and you go about it in the right way and you explain in the way that you know is within your authentic self and the truth of where you're coming from, you will find when you're working on this process, the things will flip around. Because when you have high boundaries in place, people talk to you differently and they won't even ask you certain things because they know intuitively that you're not going to find that question acceptable. And so therefore you'll find that you'll not even get asked the questions where you have to say no. I hope you understand that. But it's happened in my life many times before I've really understood and worked with all these energies. I would have been like a yes person and saying yes when I should have said no, and realized, looking back on it now, where did that yes take me? It took me down a completely different pathway. It took me to a place where I really was out of alignment for me, or I should never have been. But again, I had to learn the lesson. So what we're doing here is we are speeding up the process for you to come into alignment and to be able to receive. So the underlying emotions that come from all these things are guilt, shame, unworthiness, lack of self-love, as I said, not putting yourself first. A lot of us maybe holding on to these things from childhood, or perhaps we had a childhood where our parents looked at us as an extension of themselves, and therefore we have difficulty in separating our beliefs from their beliefs. So we're going to go into all of that. Or basically what we're going to do, we're going to talk about it. You will talk in the chat, and that's the way I will talk with you. It won't be spoken, because I find when I'm working with the energy and on Zoom, it's very challenging to, sometimes the connection is bad and people are talking over each other. So you will just be putting whatever comes up when we talk about this, and I give you the downloads in the chat on the Zoom. So have a wee think about when you don't say no and where your boundaries aren't good. You don't have to think of it beforehand. When you come into the Zoom, I can assure you that with the energy all within the group, it will be coming up within you. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you the Creator's truth of what it means to say no, and your ability to say no, and the benefits of saying no. And then we're going to go deeper into that. And then we're going to bring in the gold energy, which is the energy of abundance. And we're going to replace all those false belief systems with the gold energy. And then you may find when you go away and when you do say no, you maybe have some kind of a fear coming up that you're just feeling too free with it. So all these things we're going to look into as well. And I'm sure you'll find it very interesting. So what I thought I would do now is pull a wee card, a few cards, and see what the angels have got for us regarding the Zoom. So as I have said there in the little title below, the last day is Wednesday for emails to be included in the Zoom. What else did I want to say? I will be using the theta healing method and also my own dimensional gateway method to clear the energy out. So let's call in Archangel Metatron, who is one of my main guides. And let's ask Archangel Metatron to give us a card, to give us some insight of what we'll be looking at on our Zoom on Thursday. Indigo, mystery and mastery of life. So that's a very powerful card. A lot of you will be going through a shift. I would say to you guys, please realize beforehand when you're coming for an energy clearing that sometimes things will be coming up later and you might feel a bit uncomfortable. Nothing happens overnight, and sometimes people just sail through it. It depends where you're at in your process. But some of you will be getting into a place where you have to be alone and really look at yourself and say, look where I have been giving my power away. Look where all this time when I have been, for example, saying yes to people when I could have been saying no and loving myself and putting myself first. All your stuff would start to come up if you haven't been working on yourself. So I just say that to you just to be aware. Okay, I think we need another 2 from Archangel Metatron. What else would you like to tell us, Archangel Metatron? So he helps me tell you what it is to be aware of. Healing. You will be receiving healing, and pause to receive it. Again, it ties in with the first card. This isn't a magic wand. This is actual healing that you will be receiving. Energy will be moving out and energy will be coming in. So there has to be a period of balance when all of that starts to transition and settle. Okay? So just be aware that you are receiving a healing and have compassion for your body. your 4 lower bodies, mental, emotional, physical, all your bodies on a soul level, everything is receiving, not just your physical. Next one. I knew that one had to come out. Pink, self-love. So it's like what I said at the beginning. And these cards all tie in with each other. Bottom of the deck, we have clarity. So you will be getting clarity on this. You will be reflecting. You'll be going in. You will be receiving the healing, and you will be looking at where you haven't nurtured yourself. Self-love and nurture, it says in that card. And you will, as the card says, begin to nurture yourself even more and to understand the importance of nurturing yourself. Let me pull another card. So it is a pretty powerful clearing. And everybody's different. Everybody will just receive the amount of healing that is right for them. The universe never gives us, God, source, whatever you like to call it, never gives us any more than what we're ready for. And just because you may go through a bit of a transition period or a wee dark night of the soul, it doesn't mean to say that anything is wrong. It just means you just need to look at yourself, and the energies are moving through so swiftly at the moment that I don't think any of you will be sitting with any emotions for any length of time. Just give yourself a few days to a week if that happens. Okay, message from the universe for all my collective coming on the course. Try not to dwell on the past or spend too much time worrying about the future. All it does is steal your joy and sense of inner peace. Concentrate on the here and now and enjoy every moment for what it is. You are creating new memories. So we will be putting the past to rest. As I just said there, a lot of reflection will come in. That's what she's doing on that card there. She's reflecting. And she's looking at that star and she's thinking deeply. The indigo is going deep. Okay. What else have I got? I think a couple of these sacred wounding cards would be good. Some of you may have some wounds that come up to be addressed. And if anything comes up on a deeper level, you can just contact me and we can do some work through Theta Healing and my own dimensional gateway healing along with that. It just clears out those negative subconscious beliefs and brings in Creator's truth. The truth of who you are. Okay, 1, 2. That one wanted to come out, fell on my lap. Vulnerability, blockages. So I talk about this when I do these Zooms on say no, because a lot of you feel if you say no, you're just being so vulnerable. You're just leaving yourself wide open for ridicule. So let me just read that out. Will show up as difficulty opening up to others, fear of being judged. If you say no, what are they going to think of me? Or rejected, and an inability to express your true feelings, saying yes instead of no. It often stems from past hurt or fear, being hurt, preventing authentic connection and emotional intimacy. So some of you may have some trauma that's happened in the past in regards to a time when you said no and you're still holding on to that, because what happens is our subconscious mind will hold on to that to protect you. And it will say, well, remember when you said no before, this thing happened to you. So your subconscious mind is going to do its utmost best to protect you from that happening again. It doesn't know what's the right way or the wrong way. Your subconscious mind just knows. It's like a computer system. It just knows what it has been programmed. And that's what we do with this work. We just go in and we bring in Creator's truth and we start to reprogram it again. So I think we need another one of these. Envy wound. Okay, let's read it out. Will show up as feelings of jealousy or resentment towards others, success, possessions, or qualities. It may manifest as comparing yourself to others, feeling inadequate, or experiencing bitterness, often rooted in lack of self-worth or unmet desires. There we are, self-worth. Worthiness, it comes into all of these things. So you may find that I know we all do it. We look at certain people and we go, well, how come they have that thing and I don't? And how come they were able to learn that and be successful and I didn't? And you go into comparisons, and then that comparison turns into envy, and then it gets all tangled up. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to untangle all those things, and we're going to bring in the truth of everything, and we're going to bring you clarity. And that card wanted to come out with it, joy and happiness. Okay. Look at the light shining on that. That will be there. So I think that just about covers it, guys. I have a lot of people who have signed on already. If you haven't, I need your names. Email deborah@silvervioletflame.com so I can send you out the link. If you can't make it, if you email me after the actual event, I will send you out the recording. If the recording works, I never guarantee a recording because sometimes on Zoom the recording doesn't record. So that's why I never guarantee a recording at the beginning of my Zooms or any work that I do. But I do my best to give you the recording if you can't make it. Obviously, if you make it and you're sitting with everybody else, you're going to get a lot more. So try your best to make it, guys, and it gives you an opportunity to experience my work and how you feel. So I'm going to close off now, and I'll see a lot of you on Thursday the 20th, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. UK time. All right, bye.